Have you ever had any family drama or family gossip go on in your family? Me personally, I don't think I have, but today we're going to be looking at some people who did.
What's the family tea that you found out once you got
that my grandmother was the other woman. Back in the day, my grandfather was extremely well off. He owned a ton of land and had his wife living pretty much like a queen.
I need to find a man like that immediately. Like, I want to be treated like a queen. Queen Elizabeth just died, so like, I should be the new queen.
She had her own seamstress, she had her own cook, she had anything you possibly think of, he did for her. My grandmother was actually hired as the maid. She saw this and wanted that same life.
So basically, she was originally hired as a maid. She seen how good the person's life was, and she was like, do you want to know something? I want a bit of that pie. I'm going to make the man fall in love with me and then live with him and live that luxury lifestyle.
So she pretty much bamboozled him. Or, I mean, it takes two to tango, but the one thing his wife could never give him was a child.
Wait, so I've just realised something. She had an affair with him. Oh, I was thinking that like he was single, but like he literally had an affair with her. I mean, it does take two people to cheat, doesn't it?
My grandmother got pregnant. Soon after my grandmother got pregnant, he pretty much kicked his wife to the curb. And my grandmother pretty much took on the place of the wife. 8 kids later, my grandfather comes home early one day from work and finds my grandmother in bed with the milkman.
So yeah, basically once a cheater, always a cheater, and that's why they'll never win. If you ever cheat with someone, you know, they probably will cheat on you. Or if your partner's cheated on you, they'll probably do it again. You know, it's what comes around goes around. It's like a circle. So basically what happened is she was a maid, she slept with the man, he kicked his wife out, kicked her to the curb as well, may I just add. Took her in, they all fell in love, had babies, got married. One day he came home from work years later and she was in bed with the milkman. That is one big story, isn't it?
And I do want to emphasize that this was my dad's side of the family. Just saying.
I mean, either way, that was drama. I low-key want to be in a family like that. Like, I might actually spice up my family. Should I like spread rumors around? I'm gonna make a fake Facebook account.
Okay, so growing up, I really didn't have that much of a relationship with my father. So when I turned 18, I decided to reach out because I wanted him to come to my high school graduation. So I asked my mom, like, what's his information and stuff. She said she don't know his information, but she did know where his mother lived. So she knew where my grandmother lived. So she took me to my grandma's house. And y'all, this lady had a big, humongous house, right?
Oh my god, that must be really sad, isn't it? It's like you've struggled and really not had the best life, or not like not the best life, but you know, you've definitely found it tough, and you literally go to like your granny's house and she's got a big mega mansion. I feel bad for these people.
And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm living in poverty and these people are living like luxury. But anyways, that's beside the point. So anyways, I get in contact with my grandmother and she takes me to lunch. So during lunch, everything is cool. She's like, oh my gosh, you're so pretty, blah, blah, blah.
I would have been like, I know that's amazing, like I love that, but give me money, give me a bag. I mean, if you've got a big ass house, big cars, big bags, you might as well give it to me. I'm your granddaughter.
Yeah, this lady starts breaking down, crying. The whole reason I'm having lunch is because I'm trying to figure out, where is my father at? How can I contact him? Why isn't he answering my phone calls? So I'm just like, what's going on? Like, are you okay? You know, trying to comfort her while we're at lunch. And she ends up exposing everything.
Okay, right, so she exposed everything. We're gonna find out what she exposed.
She's just like, yeah, when your dad was born, his mom ended up dying. And I'm just like, wait a minute. Are you not his mother?
Okay, so this is now part 3 we're gonna look at. So apparently his granny isn't his mother. What is going on?
So my grandmother, who ended up not being my real grandmother, tells me that my real grandmother died giving birth. So to this day, I don't know if she died giving birth to my dad or if she died giving birth to one of his siblings, but she did die giving birth.
And I think the family tea is going to be that he never knew that he was adopted. Is that what it's going to be? I hope it isn't.
So at this point, she's like crying, everybody's staring. I'm trying to calm her down. So she ends up telling me who she is because I was wondering like, well, who are you if you aren't the real grandmother? So she ended up telling me that her and my grandfather had a relationship on the side.
Oh my god, so she was a side chick. Oh my god, I know where this is going. And why is it going this way? Do these people not realize like their lives are eventually going to catch up to them?
And while he was married to my dad's real mom, and when my dad's real mom passed away, that's when she stepped in and decided to take on his kids as her own. So now I'm still wondering, well, where is my father?
Exactly, like the whole reason she came to lunch was because she wanted to find her father, and this grandmother is now fully on trauma dumped on her. Okay, so I've actually just read the comments and apparently this girl just blabbers on for like 5 minutes. I mean, if you look at the timeline now, we're at 3 minutes 50 seconds. and she goes on for about 5 more minutes, and I'm sorry, I'm not listening to that. Apparently in the end we never found out why she never met her dad. What is going on with these people?
Look, I don't know if I could fit this in 60 seconds, but I'm gonna try. This is for spiritual talk and for my African people. Let's go. So as a kid, I always thought my father was the oldest of his family, but that came to be a lie because recently he just introduced me to his big brother. And when I tell you, I saw this man's face, and when he spoke, something activated in me, I would not lie to you. So after speaking to this man, my mama pulled me to the side and said, do not engage that man again.
Okay, so apparently he's not allowed to talk to the brother's bigger brother. I mean, if he's only found out about him now, there's obviously a reason for that. There's an obvious reason that they've kept them a secret.
I said, wow, man, what's wrong? You know why he was kicked out your family? Nah, I don't know nothing about this man, man. Hey, ever since you were a child, me and this man have been engaging in spiritual warfare, and I have been kicking his ass.
Wait, what is spiritual warfare? Is that like Christianity, like religion versus religion? Who's gonna be the most religious? I just watched a Netflix documentary called Sins of a Mother. It's crazy, by the way. I definitely recommend it. Is it something like that?
My uncle been trying to hex my mama for years, and she's been whooping his ass. Uncle is one of the biggest voodoo priests in Ghana.
Oh, right, so it's not what I thought it was. Basically, he's been trying to hex her and, you know, do voodoo on her. And she's basically been like Voldemort and fought back and won. I mean, honestly, you don't mess with women like that.
And my dad got his high school girlfriend pregnant, and the story is sad as hell. So for a little bit of background, my dad's family is really big, and we went through a phase where we were doing reunions every couple of years. And the last reunion that we did, the theme was roots. So it was all about, you know, getting to know our family tree and all of that stuff.
I've never really looked on my family tree that much. I don't really know much about my family. All I know is that my great-great-great-great-great-grandfather was the timekeeper of the Titanic, which I've told you guys about 50 times.
They had a family tree displayed at the hotel, and under my dad's name, it was me and my full brother. And then it also had like babies 2 and then like a year. And I was like walking around going like, what the this? Like, somebody made a mistake, but all of my older cousins were like, so I went to my mom and I'm like, why is everybody being so weird? And she was like, you should probably talk to your dad.
And whenever they're like, yeah, you should probably talk to your dad, that's like not a good thing. It's usually a bad thing. If you ever have to sit down and have a conversation with your dad like that, it's for a bad reason.
So my dad sits my brother and me down and tells us the story, how he was dating this white girl when he was like 16 years old, and she got pregnant, and her family, because they were super duper old school, I mean it was the early 70s, sent her to a home for unwed mothers.
That's so sad, isn't it? Like, a girl literally becomes pregnant and then her parents kick her out. It's like, why would you do that? Like, rather than kicking her out, why don't you actually support her?
Wherever they sent her was still on Long Island though, so apparently he would like go to sneak in and visit her all the time. I forgot if he said the nurses were cool with it or if they kind of just like worked around it, but yeah, apparently he would go visit her all the time up until the babies were born.
Oh, that's so sweet, isn't it? Like, he knew that she wasn't going for the best of times and he still went there to comfort her. I was thinking that he was gonna abandon her, but thank God he didn't.
So he did get a call when she was going into labor, and he did get to see the babies. It was 2 boys, and he got to spend a little bit of time with them, and then he needed to go.
This is gonna be so sad, isn't it? I think they put them up for adoption. So basically the whole story is that whenever they were looking at the family tree, she found out that she had like 2 half-brothers or something like that.
And then he never saw either of the babies or her again, because once she was done, you know, she left and she was never allowed to speak to him again. This reunion was about 10 months or so before he died. And while I am not thrilled about the way that I found out, I am still glad that I did, because it changed what was a terrible relationship through most of my life for the better. I understood him a lot better. Sorry, I told myself I never cry on this app. He did spend the rest of his life looking for them, but now he's dead, and I don't know a ton of details. The mother of these children also passed away, which is its own kind of sad story. She had cancer, and my dad tried to reach out to her family, and her family still shut him down, so ugh.
This is so sad, isn't it? I can't even remember what the original story is about. Like, I'm just engulfed. Like, it's so sad.
And while I don't have many details to go on, I'd love to find them, I guess. So that's my family secret.
I mean, I wouldn't really say that's like family drama or family tea. That's like family traumatic, family heartbreaking. I'm sending all my love to that girl. I hope she's fine.
That my uncle likes to look at my mama in a sexual manner, even though that's his sister.
Oh God, that's a brilliant way to start the last part of this video. We've got a bit of incest.
So one time when he went away to college, he had brought his college roommate back and they had did something mysterious up in the attic that had involved some stained sheets that caused my grandma to think that he was, you know.
Oh god. Where, oh my god, no, he didn't do it with the sister, did he?
Fast forward, he gets married, he has a child, blah, blah, blah. He loved calling my mama a hoe and saying she does ungodly things with her body.
You heard the cat in the background, even the cat is disgusted. I think that's the mother right there, God bless her wee soul.
Always worried about how my mama dressed and what she do and who she dating. All my life now, a little girl, I used to wonder why he was always staring at her chest and her ass. So one day they got into it at the nursing home where my grandma died. And she said, stop looking at me like you want to fuck me. And he said, well, quit dressing like a hoe.
I mean, I'm with her, you know, at the end of the day, if you can't stop yourself, don't look at people. If she wants to dress like that, she can, let her do it. You're the issue, you're the person who's looking at her weird. Okay, we're gonna end that video there because that's getting a bit creepy. We've always got a creepy uncle or a creepy brother like that. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're a press the button, and yes, I'll see you all in the next video.